All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Stacey Adelman, and I am a registered psychologist and founder of Joshua Tree Learning Center in Regina, Saskatchewan. And we go live every Tuesday for Tuesdays at 12, and we talk about a variety of different topics. So today's topic that I'm going to be talking about is the Caring Hearts Camp for children and teens who are grieving the death of a loved one. And we are very fortunate this year that we are able to host two camps. So we hosted one earlier in this year in June. That was our spring camp. And we are very excited to also be hosting a camp on October 26th and 27th at Beaver Creek Ranch in Lumsden, Saskatchewan. And so October 26th and 27th, the Caring Hearts Grief Camp for children and youth who are grieving the death of a loved one. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about what to expect from this camp, how we organize it, how we set it up, how you might be able to register someone or someone you love for this camp, and just to provide as many details as possible to give you all of the information that you require in that regard. And so basically, the need for this camp started because we can recognize that grief in children and in our teens looks very different than it does in adults. Therefore, I believe, and the research clearly shows, that we need to approach it in a different way. And so we just Caring Hearts collaborated with us, and we put together the Caring Hearts Grief Camp. And so some of the activities that we will be doing are all developmentally appropriate activities specifically to help children and teens grieve or teach them about grief and loss and what that might look like in their lives, both now and as they age or get older and into their adult years. Because we know that grief never ends. And so it's really important for our kids to see that as they grow and develop, their grief for their loved one will also grow and develop and change as well. So it's a day to provide a lot of education around grief and loss, as well as the opportunity to connect with others who have experienced grief and loss and who get that. And then to learn coping strategies that they can take home with them and apply on a regular basis in their own lives. And so basically, kids and teens in particular learn better by doing. And so we wanted to create a lot of hands-on experiential kinds of activities where they could learn these skills to cope and to learn more about grief and loss. So just to share with you some of the activities that happen at the Caring Hearts Grief Camp, probably the most popular part of that camp is the work that the kids will do with horses. And so we have a team of equine specialists or horse specialists that we collaborate with here at Joshua Tree. So we work with Brenda Clemens out at Beaver Creek Ranch, and she will be there as well. One of our other equine specialists is also there, Glenda Hiwalo, and she is the owner actually of Hidden Creek Ranch in Pilot Butte, but she joins us out at Beaver Creek Ranch to help with the horses as well. And that's to ensure the safety of the horses, of the site, and most importantly, of our kids. And so we always work with a mental health professional and an equine specialist together as a team when providing therapeutic services with horses. So a lot of times the kids will work together in groups with the horses. Sometimes they'll work individually. And that's what's really nice about this camp is we can tailor that to meet the individual needs of each camper. So we take a detailed history before any of the kids are registered. So we want to make sure we have a thorough understanding of what the needs are, and then we adapt and meet the needs individually as required. So lots of group activity and also individual activity and with the horses. We teach the kids a lot about how to use their bodies as a way to cope with grief. So we work and collaborate with Darcy Anderson from Flux Movement. She has been joining us with her sidekick, Roscoe, and they join us out at the ranch for the entire day working with kids. And how to interact with their environment and using their bodies in creative, natural kinds of ways so that the body can express itself in creative ways. And we know that creativity and movement can be very healing for the brain. So Darcy and Roscoe teach kids how to use their own environment. So which is really nice because then they can take that skill. They don't require any special equipment or anything like that. They can use their environment and their bodies as a way to play and be creative and express themselves. And that's really, really important because, our kids don't always have the vocabulary or the words to be able to articulate the feeling, but the body knows, the body can feel that. And so Darcy and Roscoe teach kids how to use that and how to be creative and how to express themselves through creative movement. We also have a registered art therapist on our team, Natalie, who does art therapy with the kids. We believe in doing a lot of land-based activities, specifically from an Indigenous perspective. So we make sure that we always have an elder out there. In the past, we've had Elder Eber join us, and he's been a wonderful addition to the Caring Hearts Camp. But we also provide opportunities just for a lot of exploring the land. And if you've ever been out to, Beaver Creek Ranch in Lumsden, it's just spectacular out there. It's just a beautiful, beautiful part of the valley. And we make sure to take advantage of that. We have a lot of places to explore. And so we do a lot of land-based learning out there. We also teach kids lots about mindfulness and how to slow down their bodies. So we do work with yoga. We do some fun stuff with sensory circus arts and juggling and poi and all kinds of fun activities that way. So there's a lot to keep the kids engaged. We enjoy a campfire, and we do a free lunch. Lunch is provided, and volunteers often step in and provide that lunch, which has been really, really wonderful. And so, yeah, lots of different activities. Kids are assigned to work with a counselor. So we have a team of counselors from Joshua Tree Learning Center that have a group of kids, and they stay with that group for the entire day. And so they get to really know the kids in their group quite well. They get to know their counselor quite well. And that way they always have a counselor with them at all times throughout the day. The group sizes are purposely kept small so that we can adapt and provide individualized programming as required. That is very, very important to us because grief is so individual and looks very, very different, between different kids and different kinds of circumstances. So we want to make sure our kids are getting the best attention possible. They are provided with what we call kind of clinical type activities where their counselor will teach them a lot about grief and loss and how to manage some of those really big emotions that they could be experiencing as well. So it's a day that it's very full and packed with a lot of great information, great experiences, and just being out of the city in Lumsden it's just a really nice day for our kids. If you're interested in registering someone for this camp, we give you the choice of coming either on the Saturday or the Sunday. So it's not an overnight camp. It's just a one-day camp. So you can choose which day you would like to attend. And if you're interested, just call our office at 306-546-5674. And what we'll do is we'll set up an intake interview with you, and we'll get as much information as possible and make sure we get all that registration information to you. And we'll just kind of guide you through the process and make sure you get all the information that's required in order to get registered. So don't hesitate to reach out. You can also email reception@joshuatreelearning.com, and we will get you all set up as well. I'd also like to encourage you to stay tuned, because we also like to offer parents an evening of information on how to support children and teens who are grieving. And I think this year we're going to be doing that over Zoom. So if you're interested in that, parents, this can be a night just to ask questions, get some information about, grief in children and teens. And we want to provide that support for parents as much as we can. Ask questions, meet other parents, and just learn some information about the grieving process in our kids. So thank you very much again to Caring Hearts, all the generous donations that come into the Caring Hearts Foundation. They do incredible work supporting children and youth who are grieving. They also support adults. They have programs for adults on a variety of topics as well. So also feel free to call Caring Hearts Saskatchewan for that kind of support as well. They do a phenomenal job in our community. And thank you again to all the volunteers and donors who contribute to Caring Hearts so that we can offer this outstanding programming to you. So October 26th and 27th, we look forward to meeting you and some of your kids if you're interested. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week. Take care.